You're trying to remove student loans from your credit report and you're not sure whether to get rid of the late payments or the entire account, then this is the video that you want to watch. And we're taking this information directly from my student loan mini course, and we're only going over that one part, but let's get right into it so that we're not wasting any time. We have 8 different flashcards and they give us scenarios. All right, so the first one is the account is paid and is older than all other accounts. What you're going to want to do is leave the account. Why? It's really simple. You don't want to change scorecards, and you also don't want to change the total length of credit history as well as your average length, right? So what you're going to do is to leave the account and try to clean it up, dispute the oldest late payment that you can see, and just try to get them to legally verify it. They're not going to be able to, because the only way to legally verify a late payment is for them to furnish a copy of the furnishers' bank statement. Obviously, they're not going to do that. Second one is the account is unpaid and the oldest account on the credit file. So this one's a little bit involved, but because the account is unpaid, normally you would remove it. However, because this is the oldest account on the credit file, you'll need to decide if removing it will jeopardize your credit score, right? So if you decide to dispute it for removal, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Go after the first day of delinquency, 90-day late payments if there are no 30 or 60-day lates prior to that, and then you can go down the pyramid method with like the date last active, date last paid, so on and so forth, right? And if you decide to leave the account and dispute the late payment history to clean it up, you're going to want to remember that you are looking for inconsistencies and inaccuracies between the 3 bureaus if you don't really understand how the pyramid method works. Okay, so let's go over to the third one, but I will let you know that the link to the full mini course is right down in the description. Okay, so the account shows 90-day late payments without 30 or 60-day lates, and there's less than 6 to 7 sets, and there are also positive payments after you were late, meaning that the account is not currently late. So you can normally dispute this for update or correction, meaning that, it's like magic, just remove those late payments, right? And you'll see this in the video inside of this course if you go and grab it. But to do this, dispute the 90-day lates as inaccurate because there should be 30 and 60-day lates prior to the 90-day late payments. For consecutive lates, choose one of the lates, preferably the oldest, and ask for the late payment history to be removed for inaccuracy. Okay, so let's go over to number 4. The account ends in late payment. There's no on-time payments after the lates, and or the account has been sent to collections and or has been transferred or sold due to an unpaid balance. So there's no way around this. You got to remove the entire account. There's no way to update an account that ends in late payments. Okay, don't even try to do it, because the status, like let's just say 120 days late, 90 days late, charge off, transferred, sold, so on and so forth. It's not going to change regardless of whether they remove that late payment history. So it's going to do nothing for you. So what you could do is go after the late payments as mentioned before, but ask for deletion for inaccuracy instead of correction or update, or you can just treat this as you would a regular charge off. And I have tons of videos on that. Next one is the account is unpaid and is not older than the other accounts and reports 6+ late payments, like 90 to 120 days late, 180 days late. So it's more than likely the best option to delete the account, kind of with what we've already gone over, because the payment history in the account will not change and more than likely will not result in a what you want with your credit score. So I would really just recommend leaving that one alone. Okay, so number 6, the account is paid and is not older than the other accounts and reports 6+ late payments, 90 to 180 days late, or the status is harmful, like 120 to 180 days late, transferred, sold, delinquent, etc. Remove the account. Okay, it's not going to do for you to keep on your credit report. Like, just get rid of it. Now, yes, student loans are very, very, very difficult, and that is why we're going over this. Next one, the account is charged off, sold, transferred due to an unpaid balance, currently late without plan to pay. All right, so you're going to delete it. Go after lates as described earlier, charge off reasons, date last active, date last paid, notice of dispute, payment history, etc. Unfortunately, there's no way to correct this without paying. All right, the last one is the account reports a handful of 30 to 60 day late payments and does not end in late payments. Now, This can be corrected by forcing them to verify the lates. And obviously, again, they're not going to do this. You can do this by first asking for correction of inaccurate lates because you were not late on those dates. This works because the only way to legally verify late payments, as I mentioned, is for their bank to furnish their bank statement copies. They're not going to do that. Okay, if that does not work, you can challenge for failure to investigate because it would otherwise be, they'd be able to furnish documentation if they had actually investigated. So you can dispute the oldest lates to make it harder for them to verify. You can go after a notice of dispute if they fail to mark the account as disputed within 30 days. And, obviously you're going to want to check if all 3 bureaus report the same info. So that is it for today on figuring out whether you need to update the account or remove it for student loans on your credit report. If you have questions, post them down in the comments. And if not, that's it. Have a great day. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll holler at you later. Bye.